So one of my Patreon supporters asked me, what are the thoughts that goes through their minds when you start to pull away? Right? And I found that to be a very interesting question, so I decided to answer it in the form of a video. The first thing you got to understand is that people who are really insecure will notice any slightness of pulling away. That's the first thing you have to understand, okay? Because the quickness of them noticing that you're pulling away, a lot of the times it's a reflection of their insecurity. And if they're really insecure, they're gonna notice, like you blink wrong and they'll notice it, right? But generally speaking, when you start to pull away, a few thoughts come into the person's mind, depending on their attachment styles, on the relationship they have with you, and how they are as an individual. All right, so understand that if they love you and they're secure, it's gonna take them a little bit longer, right? Because a lot of the times when you're secure, even signs of pulling away, you assume you're like, there's no way they're gonna leave me. Like, we have a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. So the first thing is that they're gonna say they've been acting weird lately. The way to pull away properly is not to make an annunciation that you're pulling away, right? No, you pull away subtly, right? So maybe you saw them 5 times a week. Now for the next 2 weeks, you see them 4 times a week. Maybe you responded in 2 minutes. Now you respond in 3 minutes. And then the next week in 4 minutes. And then the next week in 5 minutes. The slow pulling away makes people dawn on them. It makes you pulling away dawn on them. They're like, oh my God. Lately, they've been pulling away, right? So that's the first thing, is that it'll dawn on them. They're taking a shower, and then all of a sudden they realize you've been acting weird lately. That is the most powerful way of pulling away, to be honest with you. It's evil as shit, though, right? So they just notice it first. And then once they notice it, the next thing is that they then react to it based on their insecurities, based on their attachment styles, based on their confidence. They're going to start saying either, let me try to get their attention. So they start chasing you, right? They start chasing you. If they're really secure, they'll start chasing you a lot of the times, right? And so what will happen is that people will start getting romantic. People will start giving you gifts. People will start being more consistent. People will literally do the things that maybe you've been begging them to do, right? And that's why pulling away is so powerful, because it forces people to see you how they feel about you. In other words, they may love you, but because you're so freaking present, the feeling of love gets numbed. So this pulling away revives whatever feeling they had, and they'll be more receptive to you. So they're gonna start asking themselves, let me try to get their attention. So they'll text you more, call you more, and they'll do more simply because they sense you're pulling away. Or they're gonna start to say to themselves, okay, a lot of people have insecurities, right? A lot of people take everything you do personally, even if it's not personally. For example, even cheating is not personal. Like, honestly, like even cheating, oh my fucking guy is a cheater, shut up, Melissa. Even cheating is not personal, right? And a lot of people have a tough time reconciliating that reality because it is true. So they'll start to see how they caused the problem. So maybe they'll think maybe you cheated, maybe they cheated, maybe they're boring, right? Or maybe they're gonna start to think, okay, what did I do wrong? And that's the good part. They're gonna start to see if they did something wrong, and if you pull away because they did something wrong, pulling away will cause them to self-reflect. Will cause them to say to themselves, what did I do to cause this situation? Which is healthy, right? But the problem is that some people are perpetual victims. Some people blame themselves for the sun being cloudy. Some people blame themselves for everything. So that's when it gets really, really toxic. But what will happen is that a lot of the times, sometimes if people are behaving the way that you don't want them to, sometimes preaching to them that they should change makes them more resistant, right? Makes them more defensive. Sometimes just taking action and pulling away is what you have to do. Sometimes you got to show them the consequences of their actions so that they can actually learn from their mistakes. By the way, we're going to go to a quick little commercial break. I'm just letting you guys know we have one-on-one coaching calls with Father Alex that are confidential and nobody finds out about it, right? The only time I tell stories is when clients give me the verbal permission. But generally speaking, one-on-one calls are private. Nobody knows about them. I have 60-minute calls, 45-minute calls, 30-minute calls, 15-minute calls, 10-minute calls, 5-minute calls, people. Yeah, that's right. I got everything. And usually when people call me, their problem gets resolved. I'm not kidding with you. I'm asking for testimonials because I don't ask for testimonials, but I'm gonna start asking for them. And what you'll notice from a lot of them is that they get the solution in the call. Okay, I mean, a lot of the times I shouldn't say this. It really doesn't take too long. So if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, it's violent. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, well, that's kind of violent too. Click in the description down below where it says work with Father Alex, and you could book a one-on-one coaching call. You could book a call with me today. Yeah, that's right, people. Whatever's going on, even if you don't have a problem, if you met someone and you like them, don't fuck it up. Book a call with me, or else they're gonna break up with. The next thing that they think is that who's the bitch, right? Who's the guy? Who's Tyrone, right? Is it this person? They think you're cheating. You start to pull away just subtly, and they think you're cheating. If somebody thinks you pulling away, you not texting them on time, you not texting them that one night, if they think that you're cheating, that's problematic. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if somebody cheated on you. Don't be bringing that shit to me. The next one is they expected it. Oh, they're finally gonna pull away. I knew they were gonna pull away. I knew. There was a period in my life, man. I don't even want to say this, but I'll say it, man. There was a period of my life when people, when I say that, I'm not even gonna say. I don't even want to say it, but I am. People, I knew you guys were like, lower the volume. Let's listen to this. There was a point where when I started using Tinder, I didn't know about how to do it, right? Where every girl ghosted me after like a month. It was the fucking craziest thing in the world, man. And I remember after like the first 3 weeks, I was like, okay, she's gonna pull away, and they eventually ended up pulling away. I was on some demon time. But what happens is that when you have a lot of failures, you start to expect things to go bad. So what will happen is that they're gonna just say, okay, this fine. I knew this was gonna happen. It was too good to be true, and this is a sign that that they've been hurt, they've been rejected, they've been played, led astray, run amok, and flat out punked and bamboozled by people. And a lot of the times they just expect it. A lot of people just have shitty luck, and a lot of people, one of the strategies of war is never fight the last battle. In other words, forget what happened last time. If you forget what happened last time and you just focus on the present, you won't repeat your behaviors if you just focus on the present. But if you expect the past to happen again, eventually it's going to happen again with more force and with more power. The next thing that happens is another thought that comes through them is that if they're healthy, is that they want to talk about it. They say, hey, I know it's nothing, but lately you've been a little, pulling away. What's going on? Is there something you want to talk about? That's healthy. If you ever get that response from someone that you're dating, date them. They have beautiful and great communication skills. I believe that the most important trait when it comes to dating is your communication skill. In fact, I should maybe make a video about that. The one trait that everyone should have. The next one is that they start to get petty. They become petty wop. And then they start to pull away, right? They start to mirror you. And these people are toxic. Now, mind you, if they start to mirror you, and you pulled away within the first 3 weeks of you getting to know them, or even the first month, them pulling away is appropriate because they have no right to come to you and tell you, hey man, well, you pulling away? Like, bitch, I could have an ex. Like, maybe I don't like you no more, right? But honestly, man, who gives a fuck, right? Tell them. Even if you met them on Tinder, hey, look, man, what's going on? You've been pulling away. Do you want to continue this? Who gives a fuck? Don't. In fact, from now on, don't let the fact that you met them on Tinder, that you barely know them, divorce you from the fact that sometimes speaking about things and being direct is better. Why? Because if they say, oh my God, you're so needy, why are you talking to me about this? It's a sign that this person is used to emotional distance and you should get the fuck out. How about that? Sorry about that. People are like, yo, you good, Father Alex? Like, did that happen to you? No, it didn't happen to me, okay? Stop asking. Next one. Next one is that they say, oh, this person's pulling away. Let me get someone else just in case they dump me. They don't just add. They don't just say I expected it. They start to interview other people. They say to themselves, you know what? They're pulling away. I saw this shit coming. Let me find somebody else so that when they dump me, I already have somebody else ready. This is why I tell people, man, don't go online. I'm not online. You might see my profile. Honestly, you might see it, but I don't use it. Like, it's because people just dehumanize themselves too much. They don't treat you as a person online. They have too many options. They literally reduce your value to a freaking pixel. They reduce your value to a pixel. If you want to have a tough time dating, if you want to develop some really shitty communication skills, stay online, because you could sense that calling them out and trying to get and being honest, you could sense there's an awkwardness to it. Don't put yourself in that position. Like, be with someone. This is why dating people who you meet in real life is much better. For example, I went out with this person the other day, and they're like, "Person, what do you mean person?" My fault, girl, right? It's Pride Month, be honest. And I didn't know whether or not it was a date, honestly. Like, that tension of not knowing whether or not it's a date, it's kind of cool, right? Because you're like, well, I mean, we're meeting up. I mean, they know this person, and we are meeting up for coffee, but it's the morning. But the way they're looking at me is kind of intense. And so that uncertainty creates tension, and honestly, that makes you like them more. It makes the other person mysterious. But if you know they swiped right on you, right? If you know they swiped right on you, you know they like you. Sorry, I gotta charge this before it dies. So there's no thought, there's no uncertainty, there's no fear, and a big portion of that is a magic ingredient why most relationship that you meet through your friends and family work out better. Because of the courting period, there's a longer preparation. There's longer periods of uncertainty, and so that's why it's so much better. Like, honestly, my favorite types of dates are when I don't know this is the date. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, but when you meet them online, this is the first date. And I tell this to women, when you meet them online, it's the first date. We got a 3 or 4 date rule. If after the 5th date, there's no poom poom, you're not hearing from me. You don't like me, man. But with this person, for example, right? If I go out on a date with someone and I don't know it's a date, I can't implement the rules. I can't. So it's almost like even for women, it's to a woman's advantage. But as a guy, you don't know if it's a date either. You don't know if it's a date, And if you're giving me signs that you like me, what I'll do is I'll act like it's a friendship date. Wonder why? Because it's much, for the woman, it's much better. They like that. It's a challenge, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, guys are too easy. Like, what the fuck, dude? Your whole vibe is beginner's mode. You want to be Hall of Fame mode. You want to be difficult type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. This is why I tell people, man. Get the fuck out of online, man. There's just a bunch of Wolverines on there, man. Cold people. And if you might say, oh, but I know a friend. That's one friend. That is one friend. I know a friend who met his girl through. Hey, John. Hey, I know if you watch this, John, send me a message just in case. It'll be kind of cool if you really watch. You say you watch my videos, let me find out. Hey, he met his girl through online dating, but don't you dare and think that's gonna happen to you, motherfucker. Because with him, I know 10 other dudes who that didn't work for. There's such a thing as luck. All right, if you guys enjoy these videos about stoicism, dating, relationships, self-help, moving up in life, I would recommend you guys check out some of my courses that I have for sale. These courses are courses for men and women. For example, Nice Girl, Nice Guy is a course about how to become more assertive. Natural Chemistry is a course for women that I have on how to develop strong relationships. Dark Game is a controversial course that I have for guys on how to attract women in their life and keep it. It's not as dark as it seems, but we do talk about some dark psychology in here. Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that we made for women who are single. And as you see, we have a course about how to develop charisma, emotional mastery, which is a course about how to develop a meditation practice and how to improve your emotional life, to become more resilient, to not let rejection hit you so hard, to be able to bounce back from failure. I have a course called Nice Guy, which is a course for guys who are single and guys who want to be able to develop more assertiveness training, right? Most of these courses come at $99. And there you can also purchase the bundle where you guys can purchase all of the courses in one go at a discounted rate, right? We have a bundle for women and a bundle for men. So click in the description down below to check them out. You can browse around and see the courses that you like. And if you don't like them, you guys can ask for a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'll give you guys the money back, okay? And in fact, we actually have a new one for women right now we're developing. It's called The Feminine Woman.
So if you're a woman watching, this course is specifically to help women become more feminine, to embrace their feminine while embracing their masculine energy. And I'm actually going to make a course for that, like that for men, which is called a masculine man, which is a course on how to develop masculinity and develop masculine energy to attract women in your life, to attract business success in your life, to be able to be better socializing, to read people better. It's truly an all-around course. So if you guys want to check out those courses, click on the description down below where it says purchase the courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.